in my heart that he respects her a great deal. And I feel sorry for her family. It's one of the things a guest of yours recently said is, you know, the royal family's been seen, you know, at a Nazi funeral. Yeah? But it's a member of his family.
Well, I think that's Philip, isn't it?
Yeah, but why not? It's a member of his family, so why not?
Yeah.
Would you not go?
To a Nazi funeral? Probably not.
No, listen to... Well, no, but put it in another context.
Unless they
listen to
force
what
me.
I'm saying. If you want to mar something, if you want to really, really smash something to pieces, then what you use is every concept you can, so you take stuff. You look at the... I've got a relative and he's in the Nazis, yeah, OK, whatever. He dies. I want to go to his funeral. What's wrong with that? He's a part of my family. Doesn't matter, he's still part of my family, no matter what he's turned out to be.
Well, that's understandable.
Right, so what I'm saying is that's the clever, this is what they use against people. This is why the lies and the knowledge goes out on the internet.
I think we need to get back to the Queen here, don't we?
Yeah, I will get it. Takes me a while. But the thing is, the Queen is... I don't know if she's been duped, I don't know if she's complacent. I know in my heart that she's a good person. I know that Brian says exactly the same, Brian Gerrich, because he was a lieutenant commander within in the Navy. And
I don't think we can talk about what he thinks, really, without him being here.
No, but his point was very, very, very apt, what he made. And his point was that he was at there was a party held, and the Queen attended with a lot of top-ranking Navy officials, and Brian asked her a question, is this an official engagement that you like doing, or is it an official engagement that you've just got to do because of your position? And she said, no, the difference is with tonight, I'm with friends. And it was like Brian said, I just got a really good feeling from her. And that's very important to me, because the word friends, I mean, she was with friends, so does it mean that... You know,
I mean, I don't know if I want to talk about how the Queen feels about things, but she's never been very... she's never expressed her emotions very openly, has she?
She can't express her emotions.
Diana certainly did, didn't she?
Yeah, she was interesting.
You know, but anyway, we don't even want to talk about Diana, because that's a whole other subject. So the Queen, now, I think we need to get to you. Now, you declared yourself a freeman of England within common law.
Yeah.
And in your method of becoming a free man, which is therefore a human being, not a...
Fiction.
A person.
Yeah.
Square brackets, capital letters.
Yeah.
You invoked something to do with the Queen. I mean, I've got a copy of your freeman of common law thing. I don't want to read it all because we go mad.
No, it's quite long.
But you talk about the Queen, and you say that you deny and withhold all allegiance and obedience to Elizabeth the Queen, to the precise purpose of providing some defence to Her Majesty's person, royal estate, blah, 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 blah. What's all that about?
What it was initially is like I said, I haven't said it on camera, I'll say it now. When the website started, I was totally in the dark about everything that was going on worldwide. And through a process of people just contacting me and giving me information, I started to see patterns, history repeating itself, different bits and pieces that and it brought me along different lines. And I was talking to a gentleman one night, and he said about Article 61. I talked to another gentleman, he mentioned Article 61, and I talked to another gentleman.
That's the one in the
Magna
Carta.
These are constitutional... People who know the Constitution back to front, or as they perceive the Constitution to be. They also historians as well, so they know a lot about the sort of history of the kings and queens, the descendants, you know, all the different bits and pieces. And I looked at Article 61, so I spoke to him, and a friend of mine, Robin, wrote them affidavits on my behalf.
Was he a lawyer or somebody you
No, but he knows common law.
Okay.
That's a common law document, it's an affidavit, it's a sworn statement of truth. We looked at Article 61 because you had to give 40 days. We knew it resided within common law. It's a very powerful article indeed. People argued you needed barons, but at the end of the day, all I wanted to let Her Majesty know and the government know, I'm just fed up with what's going on with the country. The country doesn't work anymore. You're destroying it. As far as I'm concerned, you're the culprits. I'm opting out. So when I opt out of the system, then, I'm basically saying I'm not going to pay income tax because of the traitors in Parliament, the 1848 Felony Treason Act. I'm not going to do anything at all. I didn't understand anything about contracts and contract law, commerce or fleet or any of that. So that was the avenue then to start something off. That's the only way I could see.
So what I don't understand then, and I understand why you might want to become a free man and not any longer be this person, capital letters, that was a fiction, I can understand why.
But I didn't know. I didn't know that at the time.
But no, I can understand all this. I think, you know, that's understandable. But I don't understand why you have to mention the Queen in this and withhold allegiance to her. This is kind of weird to me. It's like,
it's not.
Say the Queen's great. She's being held hostage by Parliament. Kind of saying that in here.
But it's kind of what's happened if you understand what they've done with the law.
But why do you care about her? Why would you put that in your thing about being a free man? Why can't you just go, I want to be a free man? You know, the money doesn't exist. The Parliament is corrupt and illegal.
The reason
Magna Carta is being disobeyed, if you like.
Yeah.
So why this stuff about the Queen? It's like, I look at it and go, this is kind of weird, isn't it?
It's not weird. It's an ancient law. It's an ancient law that says that we have a right. At the time, I believed in the law as constitutional law as being our constitution.
So you're saying it has to be about the Queen, then? Your act of becoming a free man?
Not now, no. What I was trying to explain to you, this is evolution. What's happened to me is I've evolved with the information I've received from people. So I've taken a lot of information over a lot of time. At every point, at every stepping stone, there's been some form of recourse. Article 61 at that time was recourse, but that led us into something because Article 61 says, enter into lawful rebellion offering no violence whatsoever. So you do it peacefully.
So you don't have to... You wouldn't mention the Queen now, then, if you did it now?
What? No, I'm afraid...
John, I'm afraid we're going to have to go for another break. So, once again, if you'd like to text in your questions or comments to John Harris, do so now. Text the word EDGE, your message to 87778. See you very soon. Welcome back to On the Edge with me, Theo Chalmers, and my special guest, John Harris. John, we've covered a lot of ground, haven't we, tonight? We have covered a lot of ground.
Yeah.
So, you're a free man now.
Yeah, but
you've made this you made this declaration. Who did you send it to?
The Queen.
You sent it to the Queen,
yeah.
And did she acknowledge it?
Well, I got a third-party reply from Sonia Bonici, which is like the chief correspondent, which everybody gets anyway.
Which says, thank you for writing to the Queen. If you'd like a colouring set or...
Yeah, it just said, oh, thank you for your letter concerning blah, blah. It was about the EU, and Brian Gerrish made a phone call and asked Sonia Bonici what she meant by the word the EU, because I never mentioned the EU in
You didn't write about the EU at all?
No, absolutely not. But we now know that she presumed, when I was talking to the EU, from the phone call, she presumed it was because I was talking about the traitors in Parliament. And there's a lot of references all over the place about the EU and the traitors in Parliament.
Because a lot of people think that we're selling ourselves to the...
Yeah, but you need to know the EU doesn't exist. It has no legal personality whatsoever. It doesn't exist. People say it hasn't had its accounts signed off for 14 years, but if it doesn't legally exist, what accounts are we talking about?
It's not a corporation, then?
It's not.
It's not. We found one that isn't a corporation.
No. It's just a way of trapping Europe. It's
a what trap?
Just a way of trapping Europe. They couldn't get it with the Commonwealth. They got it with, something else. But I don't want to go down them lines because you're entering into a whole different realm.
Let's talk a bit more about your becoming a free man. I think that's important because I think there are probably people out there. I know, look, I've just... Can you repeat his website? This one says he's great. So, yes, it's www.tpuc.org. Royals have no divine right to be royals. It's a title afforded to them by those who dream it fit. Royal blood doesn't exist. Fiction. Paul in Warrington.
Divine right was from the Stuart Kings, which was derived from... it basically came out of the Papal Bull Templar, who were actually the ones who created...
The Templars, the Knights Templar.
Yeah, the Papal Bull Templar basically created Temple Bar, which is the advocates, the inner and outer temple.
Oh, where the courts are.
Yeah, in this country...
The barristers.
Yeah, basically what you've got is you two-tier everything. You've got a two-tier community, which is the socially dominant, and us, who are fooled by a promise to do the hard work. The only valuable thing in this country is what we do for a living, every single day. Because if we didn't do what we do, this country stops working. And the hierarchy can't afford for that to happen. So they have to fool us into giving us a promise. We'll promise to